So we've talked about discounting, okay? We talked about discounting right at the beginning when I was boring you with all my maths, right? We know we don't discount, okay? So how do we stop discounting? By offering additional value through bundling, okay? Now, bundling is a way of grouping certain products to create packages which are sold to clients, okay? The reason these are really important is it creates the apples to oranges comparison and takes away price from your equation. Okay, I can't compare what you're doing with somebody else because your package is different to what their package is. Okay, it's like when you try and buy any service, they will give you a different variant, and you're almost reading it through, going, "Well, what is the commonality? There's got to be something that's the same." The point is, it's not, and that's what we're trying to do here. Okay, so we're trying to bundle it to remove price because we know that people don't buy on price. Okay, because we are service providers. Okay. Customers shop value, not price, unless it's an emergency item. Small businesses typically are rubbish at conveying what their value proposition is. Okay. And so therefore, because we are rubbish at doing it, price is the only thing that people can compare you against your competition. So that's why it's important that we have something that makes us stand out from the rest of the marketplace. That market dominating position that I talked about earlier can be also, you can also leverage bundling to enhance that. Okay. So how do we offer more value than our competition? And prospects we found will actually pay twice the price if they believe that they're receiving 4 times the value, because we're buying value. People buy on value. Okay. It's all about value. But as we talked about earlier, we want to discount because we want to attract the client or the prospect into our world. And by doing so, we erode our margin. Okay. That example of a 10% and then having to sell 50% more, right? We know that selling more is harder. Okay. So why would we do that? This is one of my favorite examples. It comes from the States. Okay. So bear with me. So we have a home builder who has relationships with suppliers to get them volume discounts. Okay. So they bought multiple packages of home entertainment and security systems, including blah, 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 blah. Right? Pretty much everything that you could dream of. Okay. So the retail price of that package was, let's say, £23,000. And the builder got them for about £6,500 because they were going to do the installation. So that wasn't included in their fee. Okay. Now, if that builder is competing with other builders in their neighborhood, and let's say the prices were £150,000, they're not. We're not in Surrey. We're somewhere far, far away. Okay. But go with me. Yeah. So if they just bundled in the price that they bought the item in, 156,000. Okay. And it came with 22 or 23,000 pounds worth of equipment, who would you buy from? Goes back to our restaurant at the beginning. What's our perception of value and what do we actually want? Okay. But actually, if I was the builder and I offered it for 160,000, would I care if I know the perception is 23,000 pounds worth of value? Okay. And this is what I love, because this is what they came up with as their advertising or their marketing. All right. This is what you get with us, and this is what you get with our competitors, right? It's very clear, okay? What do you want? Okay? So I'm not suggesting that you're going to do something the same as this, but that's why it's important that you think about how you can bundle things together, okay? And how that can make an impact and make a difference to the perception of what the client is buying or the prospect is going to buy from you, okay? That's what we need to be thinking about. The bundling increased his or their profit by 73%. I'd like you to think within your world, can you bundle in things? And if you did bundle things, what would it look like? Okay, what could you do? So if you were to add all of those pieces up together, you would come up with a total number, right? And to give you a recap, okay? Restaurants are increasing their profit by 37%, builders by 73%. As I said earlier at the beginning, It doesn't matter what the percentage is. Okay. The important piece is that we're making a change and we're moving our business forward. Okay. And that's what I want you to go away with, right? And that's just one of the 12 strategies, right? Each of those were taken in isolation. Now, if you were to combine them all together and use the power of compounding, then suddenly just imagine what you could do. 5% there, a 3% there, a 2% there. It's not going to add up to 6%. Okay. How you can generate the same amount of profit as £1 million business with 25% of revenue. Well, if you had £1 million business and our profit was 100,000, well, if I was only a quarter, yeah, if I wanted to make 100,000, what would I need to do? Right, I need to find 75,000 more in profit. Well, I need 3.72%. Now, why am I showing you this? Because 3.72% is nothing. That's why. All right. In fact, why would no one would measure 3.72%? Would they? Let's be honest. So the thing here is if you were to take each element and make a small change, it becomes more compelling to us, becomes more appealing to us, and becomes more achievable to us. And that's the important part. So if you go away from today and you think, okay, I'm going to make one change and I make 3% change or a 5% change to my bottom line, that's amazing because it's means you've moved forward a little bit. And if you were then to combine it with some of the other areas, think about the impact. Okay, does that make sense? And yes, if you were in a hurry, you could just do it 6.91% in 6 areas. It's, as I always say, it's just maths. Okay, and the simulator that I've got, I can send you a link to it. You can go and plug your own numbers in, right? You can play around with the slider bars to see what the impact could be on your particular business. Okay, if you wanted to double your profit, how could you do that? Well, if my profit was still 100K, if you cut your costs by 5%, with a 5.5% increase, we'll double the profit. Okay? This is all achievable, right? And that's what I want you to take away from this. Okay? So how much could you generate? Okay? And if we were to do 5% in each, our overall profits could be 427%. Okay? Now, I'm not suggesting that that's what you're going to get, but that's what the maths is telling us. Okay, and whether you're at £1 million revenue or you're at £10,000 revenue, it doesn't matter. The maths still is the maths. So, obviously, I've given you an indication of how you can do, how we've done this for some other clients or some other examples and some other industries. Okay, what I would like to invite you to do is to sit down and do this to your business. Okay.